And good morning to you.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
I hope you're well, sir.
I'm very, very well.
Great. It's been a while since we had a conversation on a gold morning conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm coming to a particular point, but before I do that, I'd like to start from somewhere. And that is, I haven't had opportunity of speaking to you on the Global Info Analytics Survey, where they are suggesting that at this point, you may have about a 2 million voter march on the MPP. So if elections are held today, you could beat them by as much as about 2 million gap. Have you seen the survey? And as national chairman of the NDC, does that assure you of victory?
Well, thank you very much, and good morning to listeners. That is good news, but that is part of the story. It's about 1/3 of the story, because before you win the election, there must be the intention of people to vote for you, and then that intention is carried out on the voting day, and then the votes are properly counted and accounted for, and victory declared. So there are about 4 or 5 stages. The info analytics survey or whatever opinion poll is carried out just tests the intention of people to vote. So that should not lead to jubilation at this stage. And that is why I keep cautioning party people that we have not won the elections yet. So if the first step appears to favor us, we shouldn't go like Don Quixote declaring victory and then jubilating. So there is still work to be done. But it is good news that at least testing the intention of Ghanaians, they want to vote for NDC. That is good news. But it is not good enough. It throws a challenge to us to actually organize such that these intentions will be sustained till election day. And then on election day, you get the people to go out to exercise these intentions. And then you police the ballot to make sure that they are properly accounted for, and you are declared victory. It is there, and then only that you can begin jubilating. So there's a lot of hard work. Each of the steps that I have enumerated, if it goes wrong, it can derail everything that you may think you have now, irrespective of what intentions people have to vote for you.
So 2 things, you are talking about organizing, and the second one is policing the ballot for you. Those are the 2 important steps that are required.
Exactly. And then encouraging the people to just go out and turn up and vote and policing the ballot.
General,
by doing more than that, there is a need to conduct ourselves in ways that will sustain that intention of Ghanaians to vote for us. One wrong step can erode everything that we appear to have, gained. One wrong statement, one way or the other, or one wrong move by any of our top officers can, we are in an information age. And so just one piece of information can create problems for us. So it puts us in a spotlight that we should be watching what we do, what we say, and evaluate whether it will go to expand the intention of more people to vote for us, or it will take away from what we have already achieved. And then we can police the process and make sure that voting day, everybody exercises their right to vote properly, and then we can account for the votes till victory is declared.
So for you, from now until we get to the elections, you are telling you are saying that your party should be careful what you do. Your conduct is very important.
Very, very important.
What are you telling party members to avoid doing?
Oh, they know what can take votes away from them, and they know what can earn us votes. so that is the summary of what they should be doing. That is why we keep on intensifying our training and looking for what the felt needs of the communities are, and then responding to them and so on. That and then avoid unnecessary controversies and all that.
And so far, are you happy with the conduct of, like you said, the leading members of the party, from the leader of your party with the flag bearer that you're taking into the elections, through parliamentary candidates, even yourself and everybody at the executive level? Are you happy with the conduct thus far?
So far, so good. I think that we are firmly on course. And you yourself will attest to the fact that the statement, a very impressive statement delivered by our running mate, you saw the impact it created on the Ghanaian public. And so information is very critical, and our conduct too is very, very critical. The way Prof. Nana delivered her speech, her body language, the way she generally conducted herself, you see that it's completely the opposite of what Baumia did. And Ghanaians have begun comparing. So these are the things that can push us forward to reach our goal.
I see. So henceforth, all NDC members, executives should only engage in conduct that attracts votes.
Sure. Conduct that position you as an incoming government. Because why do we elect people in the government? There are expectations of Ghanaians that we want leaders who behave this way, who behave responsibly. We want leaders who are accountable. We want leaders who are truthful. So you must begin demonstrating these attributes even before you get into power, so that will show the clear difference between us and our competitors.
And having said that, I don't know if you've listened to those who have gone back to that event that you're talking about, that very impressive event. They say, we agree with General on his points, but we disagree with the platform he used. That when you said your party members were already positioning themselves, in fact, they have already shared their position, you're sending a wrong message to the voter, that you should have avoided saying that on the platform. Have you heard that, and how do you respond to that?
I'm not sure that anybody will accuse a pastor who is preaching and cautioning people to avoid adultery, criminal conduct, and so on. It's implying that the congregants are all criminals. When I hear those things, I compare them to the thinking of those people to things like that. It is always a good thing to preach what is good, whatever platform you get, and caution against bad conduct. I have been on the field, and I know what is happening on the field. And I've studied psychology, and I know how complacency can derail people away from achieving their goals, however near they are to the goals. So that is the most appropriate platform, because we're on a global platform where we're reaching all the members of the party, not in Ghana alone, but across the globe. all our branches were listening, both inside and outside Ghana. You know, this, what we call it, complacency that leads people to be sharing positions even before the election. I have had a lot of experience in this direction, and I'm talking out of experience. Let me give you just one example. There was a particular constituency I'll not mention in one of these eastern regions. We were, heading towards victory in a particular general election in that constituency. And everything was clear that our candidate, the least our candidate will get to be around 70% of the vote. Then a few months before the election, this our candidate felt that the best way to encourage those who are working with him is to begin to identify talent for certain positions in that district after the victory. Then he thought that was a good thing. It will encourage them to work harder because there was something ahead of them. You know, it had the exact opposite effect. What happened was that there was a particular woman organizer who was very, very active in the campaign and thought that a husband deserves to be the DP after the election. Unfortunately, the husband's name didn't appear on the list of the parliamentary candidates as a DP. And that was the end of the story. This woman turned around and swore that the candidate will never enter parliament. And it came to pass. We lost that election. You see, so even as you thought you are encouraging those you have penciled down for appointment, the others who will feel left out can damage your chances of getting to power. So things must be done in the right way and at the right time. I am on the field doing reconciliation, and I know the reasons for many of the disputes within the party across the country. There are people who position themselves and then go around bragging. If you don't do my bidding, I'll not recommend you to national chairman or flag bearer for appointment. And they are exercising this type of conduct that has generated conflict in several constituencies in this country, which I'm going around with a team to address. So I'm talking about experiences within the party across the country.
Oh, so it's not only at the top. You're hearing it everywhere you go.
About the top. As for the top, nothing what has happened at the top. What has happened at the top? I'm talking about things that are happening where the voting will eventually take place. So if you have disgruntled members within your team in a constituency, and even though info analytics project that you are winning that constituency, the people who will go around to do the organization and police the voting, if a few bad notes get disgruntled, they can cost you the election in that constituency. And this conduct is happening constituency level, it's happening at regional level. The regional government who have declared themselves kingmakers. If you don't do my bidding, I'm not going to recommend you to higher authority for appointment as DC, as this, as this, as that. Ordinarily, we shouldn't be worried because it is encouraging. But if the people, the person exercising that authority is demanding that things be done in such a way that it becomes, negative to our campaign, what are you doing? You are encouraging people to pursue their personal ambition of positioning themselves for power, and in so to do things that will cost the election. If you are not in power, can you give appointments? That was why I'm saying that seek ye first victory 2024, and all other things shall be added to.
Since then, and I know you have been constantly on the ground, has the message gotten down to people? Are you seeing a change in conduct?
Very, very well. And the rank and file of the party are very happy about that message. If anybody is unhappy about the message, then that person is not going around. He may be sitting in some armchair in Accra.
There's also been a suggestions in some circles that your party doesn't seem hungry for power. That typically you would have backed this long time ago, and that people don't see you really fighting for it. Have you heard those suggestions too?
You need to prepare before you go for battle. There is a saying by the Ghana Armed Forces that hard on the training ground, easy on the battlefield. And I am not one of the people who, when they take any step during campaigning or preparation for elections, they will be circulating, flooding everything about whatever they are doing on social media, making noise about it. For some time now, you yourself have, just remarked that it's been very long when you heard me or saw me in the media. It doesn't mean that we are sitting idle by. We are doing things. And the things that the public ought to know, we make them know. Those that ought to be part of our strategy, which should not be public knowledge, we don't publicize. So those who think we are not hungry enough for power, let them be assured that we are working 24/7 to try to reach our goal of securing the victory in December.
And then I'll conclude on this note, because you have been saying some things about ensuring that money that is looted by appointees of this government, that they should be ready to cough it up. Is this because I've heard this from even the general secretary of the party, the flag bearer of the party, the call, even the running mate when she delivered her address, accountability, that you ensure that everything that is done over this period is accounted for. Is there a reason behind the choice of that particular message?
Oh, we are a party of accountability. That is what sets us, one of the things that sets us apart from the other parties. Because our core value is accountability, not even accountability about financial resources alone, accountability for power. If you are given power, you have been given some resource to work with, and you must hold yourself accountable to the people who entrusted the power into your hands. That is a core principle based upon which NDC was founded. And so it is not a new thing. Accountability will continue to be one of our guiding principles. And as we talk about accountability, it's not accountability only from the opposite side, is holding every Ghanaian accountable for whatever common resource that is entrusted in your hands. That is how you can live in a society that will continue to progress. The moment individuals within society can do things and declare themselves not accountable to anybody, that is the beginning of the rot in that society. And so accountability is key to running a progressive and prosperous society. And you know that we have never minced words about how the resources of this country have been looted. Those that are done in broad daylight and that those that are done behind the truth. And so nobody can explain why this country will be in this dire state successfully without talking about the question of accountability. Because you look at our revenue streams over the past close to 8 years and compare it with the development that has happened in the country, you'll find a huge gap, and that gap must be accounted for. And then when you look at the fact that we have been declared as a bankrupt nation, which is unable to pay its obligations, that increases the need for trying to find out what went wrong. Because if you don't know what went wrong, you are bound to repeat what went wrong. So we have to find out what went wrong and guide ourselves as to how not to repeat what went wrong and do things better so we can lift this country and put it on the path of progress. So accountability is very, very important, and we keep saying it. And that said, I am one of the people who believes that the wrong way to hold people accountable, wrongdoers accountable, is to paint all of them with the same brush. Nobody can convince me that there will be a government where every member in the government is a corrupt person. It won't happen. The same way, you cannot have a system where 100% every duty bearer is clean. So my problem with the approach of Nana Akufo-Addo in government is his persistent claim that all his people are clean. And even when there is glaring evidence, he will do everything to sweep it under the carpet. You know what it does to a country? Even the good ones within that group will begin learning how to do bad things. Take yourself as a minister, and me too, maybe as a minister, in a hypothetical government. If I decide to conduct my affairs very responsibly and then accounting for everything that I've done, I've used my power for, every resource that has been put in my hands, I use it for the right purposes to make sure that I stay clean. And you, in the same government, convert public property to private property. Everything that comes your way, you use it for yourself and your family members. And then keep some for bad things in future. And then we all get out of government. Maybe our party loses and we are out of government. You will go there with a lot of loot, property, cash, tax, somewhere, an investment that will yield income for you for the next 2 years. Then I walk out of government and then have to go back and be struggling for my daily meal. Now, when the day of accountability comes, and we say all of us are thieves, next time, when your son gets the opportunity to be in government, or my son gets the opportunity to be in government, there's only one thing you will do. Loot as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, they will treat all of us looters and non-looters equally. So there is no incentive to be honest. So I don't like a system where everybody will be branded a thief. As I speak to you, that there's general impression that if the NATO MPP government is corrupt. But I'm very, very confident that they are honest and diligent ministers or government appointees who are doing their work very well. So, in the event they lose power, and you begin putting all those who did their work well and they thieves together and say they are all thieves. Then the person who did honest work will sit down and ask himself, did I behave wisely? Because if you go to the Nigerian society, your family people will be insulting you. You have been in power for 8 years. Now you are begging for food. So, society will not reward your honesty. Society will not reward your accountability. So we must begin as a country to identify people who live honest lives in government and leadership and reward them, whether they are in our party or not in our party, so that it serves as encouragement for the youth to know that it pays to be honest, it pays to be truthful, it pays to be accountable. If we don't do those things, and always when there's a change in government, we bundle the honest people and the looters together and say because they were in this particular government, they are all free. And we are going to be in trouble. We will not be able to fight corruption. And I think when something happens, when you are pursuing corrupt people, you must be politically blind. You could as well have a situation that even the looting that is going on now, there are collaborators who are not members of MPP. So when you come and say that it's only MPP people who are thieves, let's change them. What about if there are collaborators even within your own party who help the looting to happen? What do? Cover them up and go and deal with their thieves must be punished and our thieves must be protected. So we must be serious about the fight against corruption. You know why President Rawlings gave legitimacy early in the days of the revolution? There was a very sad incident when people were, queuing for essential commodities and so on. There was a sad incident where a relative of President Rawlings who was wielding a weapon, fired, and a certain woman lost her life. When that relative was arraigned before court, the judges were all afraid. So they acquitted and discharged him. When there are evidence, eyewitnesses. So President Rawlings used the state authority to send the matter to appeal and caution that justice must take place. The next court found his relative guilty and sentenced him to death. He signed the warrant, and his relative was shot to pay for the things that he had committed. That singular act, however unfortunate it was, just sent one strong message in the heads of every Ghanaian that look, this man is a man of justice. If he can exact accountability from his own family member, then trust me, he won't spare any other person who does something wrong. That was one of the early incidents that established the legitimacy of President Rawlings' speaking. So, if you are in government, you must see yourself as a family member of the whole country, not your biological family, and seek to treat people exactly the same accountability demands on everybody equally who misapplies state property. That is the way we can move this country away from where we are, from the trenches where we are now, and put it on the path of growth. So anybody who is in MPP now and is in government would have nothing to fear if they have not messed up any state resources. They will be entitled to live their life in peace without harassment and then contribute their quota as Ghanaians. We will take their advice when it is found to be useful so that we can all build a nation together. But those who have misapplied state property, there is nowhere for them to hide. That property must be accounted for. So if you don't want trouble, even before the election, try and vomit whatever you have stolen and then pledge yourself, because there's accountability going to happen.
See, but do you find that the calls for the appointees of this government to be held accountable are louder than they've ever been when the tenure of other governments were ending?
No, the calls are not. It's just of late that people have mustered enough courage to be talking about accountability. When NDC was in power, accountability was on the list of everybody. And in a sense, that helped us to run a cleaner government. So the call for accountability is good. It puts duty bearers on their toes. That there are people watching. Whatever you are doing now, you have to answer for everything that you do today. And it has to keep you on your toes and keep reminding you that there will be a day of reckoning. But the flip side, that is Nanado's government. He decides to use impunity and threat, cow down people. If you talk, you come and deal with you. People are killed under mysterious circumstances without any accountability. And so, if you are calling for accountability, and you've heard that your neighbor who tried to expose something was killed mysteriously and nothing has happened. If you try to expose something and they come to you in the night and say that if you don't keep quiet, you saw how this your man died and nothing happened. You also die and bet me nothing will happen. There are not many courageous people around who still proceed. So, all this while, people have been quiet not because they are not aware of the road that has been happening around them. But Nanando, right from the beginning, put fear in them. And so, those who could not praise him will keep quiet and be taking their notes. And those who wanted something will be praising. And that is why all the voices of accountability until recently have been quiet. The leadership of the faith-based organizations, which were very loud during our time, quiet. Even professors from university academia, students, labor unions, and all that. They had often been quiet until recently. But Ghanaians can suppress their anger. But when it erupts with dire consequences. And I can feel now that people want accountability. The anger is reaching a tipping point. They are not as loud as they ought to be, though, because they believe in democracy and they are very confident that this government is on its way out. If we make a mistake, even in the event of our winning, we make a mistake of letting sleeping dogs lie, so that people who have looted the resources and kept the country in this dark state go out and have the comfort of enjoying that loot while we struggle to get ourselves out of this economic quagmire. We may not last in government.
So that is important to the success of a government that takes over.
Come again?
So you're saying that it is important to the success
Yes.
of the government when Ghanaians give you the opportunity.
Sure. Ghanaians must see accountability. And people must pay for where they have brought us. Because those whose actions are responsible for this, our hair tax, and other things that are happening now, they will not feel the pain because they have money to pay for everything. So they are not feeling anything. And that is why they have the impudence of mounting platforms to be denying the fact that Ghana is in trouble. All Ghanaians are suffering. There are people within government now who are saying that we are better today than we were 8 years ago. And I don't blame them because they have money to do everything. In this era of resources, they have money to buy their generators and so on. So lifestyle will not affect them. Nothing will affect them. If the roads are not good, they have money to buy plane tickets and travel around, or high private jets to travel around. So they don't feel the pain the ordinary citizens are feeling. And that is why they are saying that things are better. But the vast majority of Ghanaians must at least know why they have been brought to their knees. And then if some of the loot can be recovered, we recover the loot and apply it to improving our conditions. And I am one of the people who is of the firm belief that if we do this accountability process well, money that will be recovered will be far more than any IMF loan that we are going for.
Really?
Sure.
You are confident of that?
Only one person's bedroom, you saw what happened there. You haven't gone to any bank account anywhere. You haven't tried to trace any property anywhere. Go and do your check. I am very confident that the monies that have been looted are far in excess of the 3 trillion we are looking for.
General, are you not setting your expectations too high?
No, I am saying what has been lost. What has been lost is not expectation. Our ability to recover is where the expectations ought to be. You may be able to recover, or you may not be able to recover all. But the fact that you take account of what has been lost is important.
Well, I think we'll be okay. I have to let you go, but tomorrow is the limited voter registration exercise. Is the NDC prepared? It's starting tomorrow.
Sure. Yes, we are prepared, so we are ready.
Despite the have your concerns be addressed?
We are only appealing that the electoral commission will do their work well. If they do their work well, things will go well. I'm sure we are ready.
Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Johnson Asidingetia is National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, popularly known as General Mosquito. Well, let me say a big thank you to Tul Tindan, Alidu Gaddafi, Olivia Brex, Jawad Rasbi, Nicholas Laguda, Tanko Abubakar, NDC Youth for JM, Blaze, Kenu Blega, Walter Rambel, Haja, Akuma